Welcome to Monday Crafternoons. This week we are going to be making a circle out of iris folding, and it comes out of this book. There are several such books available here and throughout Cardinal, and this is what I'm going to be demonstrating today, the circle. And these can be framed when you're done with them. They can be used as greeting card covers, so that there's a lot of different possibilities, and there are lots of different shapes and things to be made. So you're going to have a bag of things that you will need to make this. You should have a paper with 3 templates on it, 2 different hearts of different sizes, and 2 circles. And I'm going to be making the circle today. Also in your bag, you should have several strips of colored paper, and you'll need 4 for the large heart and 5 colors for the circle. You should also have a piece of cardstock, white cardstock, although you could choose a different color of cardstock if you have it. Also a glue stick, and you'll also need a pair of scissors. Hopefully you'll have those at your house, and sometimes it's useful to have some tape available. I happen to have a matte finish removable tape, and you will need to be removing the tape at some point. So the removable tape is really good to have. And now let's get on with the demonstration. So the first thing to do is to take your sheet of cardstock and fold it in half and make a nice tight fold like that, using your scissors for that. Now, on the inside, you're going to choose what is going to be the front of your card. And opposite that, you're going to write the word back down toward the bottom. And then you will take either your heart or your circle and cut out one circle really tightly, so right around the edge of the circle. Then use that to draw a circle on the back of your cardstock, and then you are going to cut that out. Stop. So now you can see that I have cut out my circle, and here's the back. Now you're going to cut not close to the other circle, but do cut it off of your sheet of paper. And now you're going to place that on the front and have it showing through. And you're going to want to kind of center it so that the numbers, let's see, so the 12 points straight up to the top, and the 10 points straight down to the bottom. And this is where your tape will come in handy. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to put some tape on, and then go back and center it how you want it, and then press down on the tape so that it's on, and then you can go back and put on some more tape if you want. And now we start the work of filling in all of these numbers with our colored papers. Now, you will see that I have folded each of my colored papers in half. Again, you want a nice tight line. Now, it really doesn't matter if you have this exactly in half, but you want to use your scissors once again. And now, see, I have here, it's uneven. So you want the side that's complete to be going down on your circle. So now we're going to start that process. And you just follow along with the numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you get back around to 1, it'll be 5, but then you're going to use the same color. But you vary your colors around the circle until you get back to the first one. So here is where we use our glue sticks. And again, we want to be very careful about this, because if you get glue on the wrong thing, this is what could happen. It shows, you end up with it showing through on your front. And so this is where you have to be particularly careful. So I just put a little glue stick around the edge, and I put on my first color. So you take your glue stick and you go around the outside right about where the 1 is. And you can choose any color you want to start with. I'm starting with yellow, and I'm placing it there up against the folded edge, goes up against the line that demarcates the 1. And I press it down, and then I cut that. And it doesn't matter that it's going to be sticking out, because at the end you're going to fold over the card and glue it in place. So now I'm moving on to the 2, and I'm going to go with pink for this. So again, be careful about where you put your glue stick, where you put your glue, and go up against the line that demarcates the 2, and again cut. Now I think I'll do green for the 3. And the last color I'm going to use is going to be lavender, and that's around the 4. Again, making sure that I come right up to that line. Now, I have come full circle, back to yellow, and that's number 5. And now, I want to, again, get some glue right at the end of the 5, and, oh, there, I went over the line with my glue so I could catch that and get it off, because otherwise it will attach itself to my pattern and then peel off some of the white paper when I'm done. So we don't want that. So here I go with my yellow again, and this time up against the edge of the line of the 5. and snip that off. And coming around to 6, once again it's pink. And again, I might have gone a little over with the glue, so I capture that and use my pink. And you're just going to keep going around the circle like that. The next one would be 7 and green, then 8 and lavender, and then you come back to yellow with the 9. And keep going around until you get to number 24, the last number, leaving the center, the square in the center open. And I'll show you at the very end what we will do with that. Okay, so when you have finished going around the circle and filled in all of the numbered spaces, this is what your final product should, well, your product should look like at this point. Now you'll notice that there's a spot in the center, it's a square, and you can cover that with anything you want. You could just take another color of paper and put it over there. Or we have also included in your kit a piece of origami paper. And you could use that. That's what I'm going to do with mine. So I'm going to turn it over and take off the template that I was using. And this is what it looks like now. And so I want to position my paper so that we see something really pretty showing up in the center. So I guess, let's see. Oh, that's kind of cute. So that's actually a possibility. If you have sequins, you put a piece of paper, a plain piece of paper down under there, and then put a sequin on top of it. But I think I'm going to go with these little flowers. And then I've put tape on there so that it'll stick. So there is your finished iris folding piece. Now, what I'm going to do is take my glue stick and put a lot of glue on the opposite side and then fold it over and press it down. And there is your finished product. Now you can either frame this, or you could add some other things around that centerpiece if you wanted, with colored pencils or whatever. You could also use it as a greeting card. You could write something on the back. And I also wanted to show you that there are all kinds of other shapes that you can make. We gave you the circle and the heart. I really like this one. It's a bell, kind of a Christmas bell. And if you go online, this is from a book, and this book is available in Cardinal. But if you go online, you'll find all kinds of templates. So here we've got a Christmas stocking and a star. Here we've got a set of leaves. And then for the really adventurous, we have something like this, which doesn't even have numbers on it. So you would have to feel comfortable with your skills to do this. And you can enlarge this, which you can do with any of these items, or you can make them smaller. Again, think about how full the back will be with the kind of paper you're using. But that is it for iris folding, and thank you very much. Have fun.